Okay, this is like part 2.5 slash 3 slash whatever you want to call it. I did a labor and delivery video. I did a like post delivery, what that looks like as a surrogate. There's one topic I wanted to talk about, and I don't think it's talked about enough. My doula prepared me for it immensely, but there's a point when you're birthing unmedicated where you become disassociated. And I just kind of wanted to touch on the topic. I don't know why, just something in my brain's like telling me to make a video about it. It happens in the transition phase from like 8 to 10 centimeters. So I don't want to say that I felt more associated like with my previous deliveries, but I did in a sense. Would I change that for anything? No. Definitely not. But it was weird because I remember they told me I was 8 centimeters. I was like, okay, almost there. This is going to fly by. They checked again like 20 minutes later, 10 minutes later. I felt like the head was right there. They're like, yeah, you're still like 8.5, 9. I was like, oh my God. Like, I need to, like, this baby needs to come out. Like, I feel her. My body started pushing and it was wild. But there came a point where I turned to my side and I grabbed my husband and I held him, and every time a contraction would come, I would just squeeze him so hard and breathe, and my eyes were closed like the whole time. Like, I could not open my eyes. There was so much going on. I could hear the delivery team coming in, my doula's voice. The doctor came in. I could hear everything that was going on, but my brain was so just like in this zone of like, keep your eyes closed. Baby's coming. Focus on your body, on what your body's doing, rather than like associating with the room and looking around and like acknowledging what was happening. And I thought that was the most interesting thing ever. I've never experienced that, and it's almost euphoric. It was a really cool experience. But I think that is something that might not be spoken about much. Some people might be like, oh, she disassociated, like, you know, thinking something negative about it, but it was beautiful. I remember hearing somebody say, well, can she push like that? Because I was on my side and that's just how it felt good. And the doctor was like, no, I need her to roll over. So when I turned to my back and opened my eyes, I think I looked at my doula first, and I was like, oh my God. And she was like, okay, next contraction, you know, like, you got it, just bear down. I was like, okay. But I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I don't even know what I was saying okay to. Like, I was just like, my body was doing it for me. I wasn't like, with my epidural deliveries, I was like, so focused on, okay, when they would tell me I was having a contraction, when they would tell me to push. But this was just totally led by me and what I felt, and it was beautiful. It's crazy because, like, to say I would do it all over again sounds insane, but like, I would have like 5 more unmedicated births. Like, and it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Don't get me wrong. I would say from like 7 to 10 was the worst. I was up and moving and bearable till about 6, and then I became more comfortable just in different positions, like on and around the bed. But that disassociation in itself was just me knowing that baby was here. And I remember telling my doula, I was like, I can't do this. And she was like, yes, that's what I told you I would hear right when the baby's coming. Like, it was beautiful. It was really cool. I still feel like I'm on this birth high, like this euphoric, like la la land, like, and I've never, ever, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, like, I never experienced that with my 4 children. Like, I did, obviously, in the sense of they were mine and I bonded with them and I loved them after the fact, but the actual labor and delivery process to me this time was 10 out of 10 the most beautiful, wonderful, amazing experience I have ever felt in my entire life. And I told my husband, I said, I want to do this again. And he was like, we'll give it a couple years, you know, and we'll have our own. So I'm being patient. I told him I am on a time clock. I am not having kids after 30. So if you want to make this happen, it needs to happen before then. Some of you don't know, which I'll do a different video about this, but my husband got a vasectomy done a couple years ago now. And so we would only have the options of like paying to reverse his or doing IVF to get me pregnant. And I think that we're leaning more towards the IVF route. If we can get insurance, that might cover a little bit of that, because we do want a son together. Most of y'all don't know, but my husband, none of my children are biologically his. My older two have a dad that is very active and involved in their life, and my younger two have a biological father who signed his rights away to them when they were very young. So my husband has raised them. They're basically his children, but biologically not. And so he was dead set on never wanting a biological child, but one of the things that I thought was really cute too after this birth was he went over to the baby when she was on the warmer and the nurses were working on her, and he goes, okay. He was like, I think I want one. Like the experience, he's not quit talking about it either, and it's just, I think it changed him as a man. It really did. It was something that I don't think he was expecting to experience, or maybe like the way I had been explaining it to him the whole time, he didn't understand that feeling of seeing life be born. And that's why it just shocks me that some people can't act right for their children. It just blows my mind. But besides the point, it was beautiful. I just wanted to do a quick spiel on that little disassociation portion of like going from being in the transition phase, because that was just wild to me. But once I got in that zone, man, it started pushing. It was like, whoa. The ring of fire, the head coming out. I knew as soon as that head was coming out, because it burned. But it was so quick too. It was so fast. I remember I pushed, I felt the head come out, and then my OB was like, okay, stop for a second. The cord's around the neck, I think is what I heard. And then he slipped the cord out real quick, and I was like, I have another one coming, like a contraction. I could feel it, and I couldn't stop it. Like my body was forcing the baby out. And so I want to say it was like maybe 1 or 2 more pushes, and there she was. So it was cool. But anywho, had to share. I'll do some more videos. If y'all have questions, please drop them below. It's talking about this experience really helps me, I think, kind of like cope with the after part of it being home right now. So I don't mind the questions. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later.